With religion spread out throughout the whole world, do we ever stop and think, how did this all start? What's the function? Why is it still here? Hey everyone, my name is Shervin, and I'm starting this new YouTube channel called Sure Philosophy. I hope you guys enjoy the content that I make. I'm going to try to make content on whatever I enjoy making content about, whatever I find interesting. So, religion is definitely one of those, so we're going to start with the first video on the channel with religion. Now in this video, I'm going to be discussing what's the function of religion, why is it useful? I would like to mention though that I was very faithful and I was very into Christianity. Um, but recently I've become an atheist and I'm questioning, and I think I need to go through a journey before I can decide on such a big matter such as faith. So I'm going to be doing plenty of reading and searching and seeing what I want to do in my life. So when talking about religions, it's important to identify what we're talking about. I'm talking about, in this video at least, is complex religions such as Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and where religions where they have a moral system, a very sometimes complex moral system too, though it can be simplified for most of them. Um, Most religions back in ancient human civilization were ritualistic, so that meant you do something, you sacrifice something, and you get something out of it. It was pretty simple. Um, but as society started to progress, more complex religions came up, such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So many studies have been done on the emergence of more complex religions, and they all seem to correlate with population size. As the population gets bigger and more complex societies emerge, more complex religions emerge. An article titled "Which Came First: Vengeful Gods or Complex Civilizations" by Smithsonian magazine states that once societies reached a certain size, fears of blood rains, pestilence, and hell became a new way to modify behavior, especially when one-time encounters between people became common, like purchasing a sheep from a stranger. They may represent a cultural adaptation that is necessary to maintain cooperation in such societies once they have exceeded a certain size, perhaps owing to the need to subject diverse populations in multi-ethnic empires to a common higher power. Now, this could mean that as societies get bigger and people have different values and different experiences, they need more complex ways to think about their individual situations and how their God can apply to their situation. But definitely one of the things that comes from my more atheistic side is I question, why do these gods um, hide their true teachings until the population size has become a certain size? Why not just teach it to the ones from the beginning, from a small population, and they'll they'll work fine? But why does it need to be a certain size when these gods start to reveal their divine teachings, if that is the case? Furthermore, one of the more important functions of religion in the world is it provides a social structure and allows everyone to not go into chaos, which is pretty important. Most of the time, when you have a large group of people, there is a large difference in opinion and what and how things should be done and run. So religion acts as a buffer to that, and it kind of just unites everyone on one common cause. It sort of gives an identity to the individual, and they can pretty much relate immediately to others that have the same belief as them. So cooperation becomes a lot easier and more common. And even when talking about ritualistic early religions, people that did the same rituals were pretty connected together. They did the same rituals at the same places and believed the same things that the rituals caused or rewarded them or did. Um, so that kind of connected them, and that was really the early start of how people started connecting over supernatural religions. Also, religion having to have places of worship, like many do around the world now, causes people to gather together physically and feel more connected than if they were just in their own place and kind of just doing their own thing. And that can be a really good thing because a lot of people do a lot of volunteer work at their churches or other places of worship, and if it betters society. And again, one of the most important functions of religion is to keep people under control, basically. Now, that can be a bad thing, but it's a pretty good thing most of the time because it allows people to not go crazy and cause a bunch of chaos. Now, the function that social stability that comes from religion is is a good thing most of the time, but sometimes it can be used as a bad thing. Some people, not all, interpret as their situation, they may be in poverty, is because God put them there. Now, this was one of the things that Karl Marx talked about so much, is that the poor people are kind of just getting oppressed by religion, and that's what he meant by opiate of the masses, is they can just be happy being poor and not question anyone in the higher up positions. Now, I'm not saying I agree with Karl Marx, because his ideology can easily lead to totalitarianism and authoritarianism, so it's not really the best ideology, but he does make a good point on religion here, which is you don't want religion to become something that you can use as a scapegoat and just say, this is the situation I'm in. This is what's happening. Um, Now, I'm not saying you could in every situation you could get out of the situation, but there's definitely ways to work your way up and not just use religion as an excuse or a situation that God has put you in as an excuse. And it's good to remember that working against your current situation in life isn't going against God's plan or against His will. Now, another function of religion is it's a coping mechanism for the fear of death that a lot of humans have. Fear of death is very reasonable, everyone has it, uh, but religion has definitely become a way for people to get out of that fear. An article by Pressbooks actually states that religious faith and practice can enhance psychological well being by being a source of comfort to people in times of distress and by enhancing their social interaction with others in place of worship. So, yeah, religion does lead to a lot of psychological benefits, and it can help a lot of people, which is awesome. Another purpose of religion is that it provides purpose and meaning for people's lives. It motivates people to get out of bed and go to work. It motivates them to go and enjoy the world. In an article by Smithsonian magazine, they state, first, religion gives meaning and purpose to life. Many things in life are difficult to understand. That was certainly true, as we have seen in prehistoric times. But even in today's highly scientific age, much of life and death remains a mystery, and religious faith and belief help many people make sense of the things science cannot tell us. And when it comes to families and forming families in the future, it's pretty easy to go find people at church that are pretty like-minded and would like to raise the family the same way that you do. Lastly, religion has acted as a way for people to get answers to a lot of questions that they needed answers to. Why does the sun rise? Why are we here? Where are we going? Now, religions didn't always provide the most scientifically accurate answers, but they definitely helped. It was something that could help people answer their questions to some extent and overall just get them going about their life. Now, as we can see, religion has had a lot of functions in our civilization and society, and has helped a lot of people. So it's an awesome thing, and I believe it can do a lot of good in the world, and it has definitely helped society progress a lot. And it still has its utility today, whether it be personal faith or communal faith, whether it be everyone at church, or just finding someone to form a family with. Well, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in more content like this, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll be trying to make videos like this on anything that interests me, any topic that I find interesting. And thank you guys for watching.